Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk curriculum planning for the upcoming school year. Okay guys, so this is going to be a bit of a chatty video. I have my coffee, I have my computer with my kind of long-term planning in here, and then I got my dump journal. I'm still sort of thinking through some things. I have made some decisions for the upcoming year, but I'm still thinking through a little bit, so I wanted to talk about that in this video. If you've been with me a while, I hope everything is good. How are you? How's the year treating you? And if you're new, welcome to the channel. My name is Christina. I am a stay-at-home homeschool mom to two, and next year will be our 6th year homeschooling. I will next year have a rising 6th grader and a rising 3rd grader. So I am thinking of making some changes. The overarching scope for next year will be family style learning. This current year we've done a little more of that now that my son could participate a bit more, and it has gone really well. And I know that time is fleeting. It feels like these homeschool years are just flying by. So as much as I can do subjects together as a family, I want to do them. So that's kind of the plan for this upcoming year. I had made some decisions and purchased some things. Some of those you've seen on this channel if you've been with me a while. I just previously posted some haul videos. And so I was thinking that these were the things we were going to do, right? This was the plan. One of those being history. So history has definitely changed. History was going to be a separate subject for both kiddos. My son was going to do American history. My daughter was going to do ancients. Upon looking at those curriculums and just, figuring out how it was, I was going to divvy out work for different history cycles for both kids. It just didn't seem feasible. It just seemed like it was going to impede on our schedule a bit. So I've decided to do family style history for next year. I have looked into starting a 4-year cycle. I think that will be a benefit to my daughter, who's now done 3 years of American history. We did a little bit of world history her first grade year as well. So now I have looked into Biblioplan. I have looked into Mystery of History. So those have been some that I've been thinking about. I've taken some time to look through those. I have made a decision. I'll wait to let you guys know what the decision was. I'll have some haul videos coming up here soon. But we are going to start with ancients, and we're going to do a 4-year cycle. And I think it's going to be really good for my daughter, who will be going into 6th grade, which I can't believe, by the way. I can't believe I'm going to have a middle schooler. And I know some people call 5th grade middle school. I've always grown up to think it's 6th, 7th, and 8th that's middle school. I don't really think it matters, but I'm considering her officially going into middle school next year. So I think starting a 4-year cycle will help with retainment and just, getting a big picture idea of, world history and all of that. So I'm excited to do that with the kids. So let's see, I have a computer here. Language arts. Language arts, we are going to make some changes for both children next year. The Lord's weighed heavily on me to kind of utilize the things I have, the resources I have in our home already. I've collected things over the years. So that's kind of my plan, is to use resources that I have. So I'm still playing with those ideas. A lot of this is going to be DIY by me, bringing in different resources for different things like grammar, vocabulary, spelling. Some of the things we're just going to roll over that we've been using. You know, like my son's going to continue with his phonics, which is Explode the Code, very basic, very well known. And we will most likely go into the McGuffies. He is doing copy work that coincides with that already, so I think it'll be good for us to just continue that and utilize that resource as best I can. I do have an easy grammar program for his grade. Just not sure if he needs that formal grammar. We have done a little bit this year. We started doing it orally, just using a free resource. And he just picks it up really well. I'm not one of those people that thinks grammar, or at least formal grammar, is needed every single year of your education. So that's something I'm mulling over. I'm not quite sure I'm going to implement that, and if I do, it'll be maybe a couple times a week. So that is something I'm thinking about, but I will be piecing together things for my youngest, for his language arts. So these are just like last minute little notes and things that I have to kind of put together. We have been using just a spelling list for him, for my second grader, and I just don't know that that method is working. I want to try dictation. We tried the Evermore spelling workbooks for a couple weeks, and the only thing I really enjoyed out of there that I thought was helpful was the dictation that they provide. So that's something I think I'm going to be bringing in next year for spelling. I think that method might be helpful for him. So that is something I'm thinking about. Their handwriting, just going to continue that. However, because he's going to be using the McGuffies, we'll probably just be utilizing that for copy work. Not quite sure. I think I'll still have him do the pen time handwriting, because it will be introducing cursive. I think by next year, mid-year next year, he should be ready for cursive. So that's what I'm hoping, and that's my focus. I do have some things here on this computer that I'm noticing I'm going to have to change. I had ideas that I was playing with, and those have been at least pushed maybe to a further year. So writing for my rising 6th grader, my 5th grader now, my 11-year-old. We have looked into a few different options. Writing strands with Master Books, EIW, Essentials in Writing. We did the free lessons and looked into that. Took about a week to do that, watching the videos and going over their free lessons. And what other program? There was a couple others that I looked into, and now I can't remember. Oh, just the writing skills, the building writing skills, is it? I forget the company, but it's just a workbook. I will put a picture up here of what I'm talking about, because I can't think of the company that that publishes it. But we were looking into that. For me, I like just a very straightforward writing, and I was finding some issue, like with writing strands, they had a reading component that just didn't seem feasible for what I want her. I like to give her assigned reading, and a lot of it was requiring her to finish a book in a week, which, you know, usually doesn't happen, depending on how small the book is. Of course that can, but I knew that I would have to adjust that accordingly, and I just didn't want to have to do that. That's a very gentle approach to writing. My daughter in particular enjoys writing. She's pretty good at it. Before the holidays, she submitted a story to a publication for a contest. She won the contest, and she got her writing piece put in print. So that was exciting, and definitely, it boosted her confidence in writing a bit. She enjoys it. We've always led with the younger years of just being creative writing, not pushing anything too formal or too step by step. I feel like that's good for the later. That's why we're looking into that now for 6th grade. I feel like instilling that love of creative writing and starting early on to just figure out what your voice is and what you want that to sound like is, let me just turn this off, is definitely the way we've gone. So she enjoys it, but I really didn't want anything too, some of the programs, IEW, I looked at briefly, it just didn't look like a good fit. The price tag, I'm not gonna lie, doesn't make sense to me. I don't think anybody should pay that much for a writing program, but I know a lot of people love it. I mean, it's highly recommended. But EIW was a close second. My daughter was quite interested in that. The instructor, he's explained things well. It's very step by step. If you have a struggling writer, I think, or even a person that enjoys writing, I think it would be a good program. For me, the first section of it being all grammar, and then the next section being all composition, it felt like we didn't need that because I have a grammar component that's actually working for her, and that's the Easy Grammar series. So I really didn't think I wanted to switch that just because that's working for her right now. And then that I think was the main reason I decided against EIW. But that was definitely our first contender. And I have a visual learner. She works really well with a video component. So that would have been really nice. If they had just had where you can separate it and just do a writing program, we probably would have got that. I didn't want to have to buy it and skip through all that grammar. And I guess I could have just switched them out entirely, but she's doing well with the grammar we have. So I continued on with the looking for a writing program. The workbooks, I just decided against. I have picked something out. So again, I'll be sharing a haul. And this particular program I decided on is because it's open and go. There's a lot of nice solid pieces of literature that they bring in. And I'm excited for it. I like that it speaks to the child so she could work independently if need be, but I'm also there for guidance. And upon looking at it, I think it's going to be just what we needed. So I'm excited for that. That was a bit of a long-winded explanation for writing, but that was definitely something that took us quite a while for finding something that would work. I played with a lot of different ideas, and that's where we ended up. So she has done since language lessons for a living education. She's done that since 1st grade, so 1st through 5th. That's what she's currently doing. She's ready for a change. She's just ready for that. And I think it's a good time to make those changes. So that is kind of what we are doing. We're going to bring in some literature guides, I think, next year, just to help her break through some of the books she's reading. I think that will be just a really perfect component for her language arts. Those always include different activities that you can do, vocabulary, comprehension, writing, all of those components are included. So I'll be sharing on that down the road as well. For math, Saxon is working out tremendously for my daughter. The video component with the Dive into Math series has been on point, exactly what she needed. And we are following their suggestions for how to do the lessons. So that's something I'll talk about in our end of year, but it kind of has shortened our time doing math quite a bit. I wanted her to start doing kind of the full lesson just so she can get the, she can get used to how it's laid out, and now we're more so following their suggestions. So it's shortened her math lessons quite a bit, and it's been nice. So that's staying the same. Same with my youngest. He's doing math lessons for living education, and he'll continue doing that as well. Let's see. So those things have pretty much, the decisions have been finalized, as well as geography I shared in our recent haul we're doing. That's been finalized from Master Books. What else? I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here on the computer. Science as well, we're doing family style. So my youngest has been really wanting to do more nature study. That's something that we have really put to the wayside. We used to, when they were younger, do nature walks and the nature study and all of that. We are going to do a bird study next year, and I think that'll go well with our zoology that we're planning. So I'm excited to do that. I'm still deciding as to what company I want to use for that. So that's something I'm thinking about, and haven't finalized just yet. I was looking into the Simple Studies, which is, I love her channel. She's got a channel here where she shares what they are doing every term, and her units look really nice. That's something I've talked to my son about a lot. He's looked at that website and picked out units. We have not had the time to really implement those. But I also wanted to keep our nature study as simple as possible and bring in some art components to go along with it. But I didn't want like all the other extras, so I'm trying to figure that out of how I want to exactly do that. Simply Charlotte Mason was another one that I was looking into, so I am just finalizing that between those two companies. Okay, so I think that is really all that I wanted to talk about. Again, we're just moving into more of a family style learning next year. I'm actually really excited about it. We don't use any particular curriculum as laid out generally, so that now is my mindset of trying to figure out how it is that I want to plan these courses and how we're going to implement those into a schedule. So that's something I'm thinking about, and my brain's kind of, going over. That's kind of where I'm at. A lot of these things I have pretty much finalized, other than what I spoke to you about. So around the spring is when I like to share with you guys what it is we're doing. So that'll be coming here soon. I do have a haul coming, so you'll get a peek into some of the decisions we've made already, and I think it'll be good. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Hopefully I explained everything or went over everything that I was sort of considering. A lot of the little things we're just kind of rolling over into this upcoming year. They're working, so there's no need to change them. It's just kind of the some of the bigger courses, bigger core courses, family style courses that I'm kind of thinking about, and of course some individualized things for my older child. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully my chattering gave you some ideas, or maybe if you have ideas for me on anything I mentioned, please drop those down below. I love when you guys throw me your ideas, and if you have finalized the things you will be doing for the upcoming year, let me know. Is there anything that you're stuck on, that you're not quite sure what you want to do? Put that down in the comments as well, and I will see you on the next video, guys, here real soon. God bless.